writing habits that got me published. Distance teaches strange lessons. It teaches the hands to be still while the heart keeps moving. It teaches time to stretch, to bend itself around anticipation, to slow down just enough that every thought of you lingers longer than it should. I have learned the sound of your absence, the way it hums beneath everything else. It is there in conversations that drift too quickly, in laughter that ends a second too soon, in moments when joy arrives and immediately asks for you. But even then, I do not feel abandoned by love. I feel accompanied by it, because love does not vanish when it cannot touch. It adapts. It learns new languages, glances at photographs replayed, memories, words sent across glowing screens that carry more weight than they ever should have. Too, I have memorized you in fragments. The way your voice softens when you say my name, the pauses you leave unspoken when you're thinking, the warmth you bring into a room without ever trying. And sometimes I close my eyes and pretend distance is only a dream, that if I reach far enough, you'll be there, solid and real, and close enough to quiet this ache. But then I open my eyes, and reality reminds me that loving you now requires courage. It requires waking up and choosing faith over fear. It requires trusting that what we are building is stronger than the miles trying to test us. I won't pretend it's easy. There are days when the waiting feels endless, when the future seems too far away to hold comfortably. Days when loneliness whispers lies, telling me I am foolish for hoping so fiercely. But hope has never been foolish. Hope is the bravest thing a heart can do. So I remind myself, we are not paused, we are becoming. Every day apart is shaping us into people who know how to value presence, people who will never take a shared silence for granted, people who will understand that love is not measured by proximity but by persistence. We are learning to love deliberately, not passively, not lazily, but with intention. When the quiet settles in beside me and the night grows wide and heavy, when the space where you should be echoes louder than any sound, I do not call it emptiness. I do not call it absence. I call it distance, and distance is only a question asked by love. I tell myself this gently, the way one might speak to a trembling heart. This loneliness is not a punishment. It is not a warning. It is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a test. Yes, but not the kind meant to break us. It is the kind meant to reveal us. Because love, real love, is never proven when hands are already entwined. It is proven when they are forced apart and still reach for one another through memory, through hope, through faith. When I miss you, I do not shrink from the ache. I let it bloom inside me because the ache carries your name. It reminds me that my heart has learned the shape of yours, that my days have been rewritten with you threaded through every hour. I remind myself again and again that this distance is temporary, but what we are building is not. That every mile between us is only sharpening the truth that love, when stretched, does not thin it, deepens. I imagine you in your own quiet moments, perhaps staring at the same moon, perhaps feeling the same tug in your chest, and I smile at the thought that even apart, we are still moving in rhythm. We are learning patience together, even when we are not side by side. We are learning trust, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary for something this real. Some nights the loneliness presses closer than I expect. It sits beside me, uninvited, asking questions I already know the answers to. It asks, is this worth it? Is love meant to hurt like this? And every time, without hesitation, my heart answers yes, yes, because this pain is not empty, it is full of you. Yes, because love that cannot endure distance was never love meant to last. I think of the future the way one thinks of dawn after a long, restless night, not as a guarantee, but as a promise earned by waiting. I see us there, not untouched by this separation, but strengthened by it, carrying proof of everything we survived just to stand in the same space again. When that day comes, when distance finally loosens its grip, we will not be the same people who first said, I love you. We will be deeper, steadier, marked by longing turned into certainty. And when I hold you, then I will hold you with every moment we were forced to imagine instead. Until that day, I carry you with me in the smallest details, in songs that suddenly mean more, in quiet mornings that feel unfinished, in the way my heart still reaches outward even when my arms cannot. I love you, not conditionally, not cautiously, not only when it is easy or close or convenient. I love you across time zones, across silence, across longing. nothing will ever change that